What's up, my cosmic brothers and sisters? This is your cosmic brother Larry Yates. I'm back. Let me thank you guys, man. You guys have been so great following me on my social media platforms. I'm kind of getting used to this stuff. And on my last post from the old cribby here, reintroducing myself to those that didn't know me, and those of you that did, I found that those of you that was a little bit familiar with my life story and my journey, was so kind to allow me to introduce myself to other people. But you know what's so funny? I've gotten so many people say, well, Larry, give me an example of a life lesson that you learned working on a song. Because if you never worked on a song, you never worked in the industry, I can understand that, wait a minute, what is a life story in working on a song? So I didn't even have to think hard about it when some of you asked me this. So I got a good one for you. And let's title this, Being Open-Minded, Listening to Constructive Criticism, and Being Able to Change Along the Way. Let's label it that. Here's a good one for you. Let's start with my first introduction to the maestro in the music industry, Mr. Leon Haywood, right? So I come from Mississippi. You guys know the story. And I wasn't used to being around pros and professionals. I mean, playing bands and nightclubs, cigarette smoke all over the place. Now I'm in a controlled environment, almost like an emergency room kind of setting, right? So Leon Haywood he'd come off the hits like back in the 60s. Okay, that was before my time. Now back in the 60s, he had Got to Be Mellow. And he did, the song I Want to Do Something Freaky to You is the song that Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg did, Ain't Nothing But a G Thing, Baby. Well, that came off of Leon Haywood's song, I Want to Do Something Freaky to You. And he had other songs, but he had one of his biggest hits was Don't Push It, Don't Force It. I mean, it was like on Soul Train. So look up Leon Haywood's name. So when I give you these names, go look them up, man. So anyway, Leon called me over to his studio up in Baldwin Hills. He had a studio in his house. And I go over, and he had produced this song called She's a Bad Mama Jama. As you guys know it, She's a Bad Mama Jama. But this is what you're gonna like. That wasn't the name of the song when he first did it. And this is where my lesson came from in life. And so Leon wrote and produced the song, She's Built, She's Stacked. She's built, she's stacked. All it cures a man, like with Carlton. Great. The track was great. The beautiful was great. In fact, the track was akin to the Gap Band, Burn Rubber on Me. So when you go back and listen to She's a Bad Mama Jama, the bass line and all of that, and Burn Rubber on Me by the Gap Band, relationship, right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, James Ingram, yes, the James Ingram, was the keyboard player on She's Built, She's Stacked. Then James Ingram, this is actually how I met James Ingram. And so James Ingram and the great Howard Hewett from Shalimar and the great Phil Perry was singing background on the song She's Built, She's Stacked. God, the great Bunky Sheppard was the head of promotion, and he had the legendary Joe Isgro. So you got these powerhouses listening to this song, She's Built, She's Stacked. So we tried to get a little bit of it out there, and the song didn't work. But Leon knew it was something there. The great Joe Isgro knew it was something there. They just didn't know what was missing. They couldn't figure it out, and was waiting to try and figure out what can we do to make this song, She's Built, She's Stacked, better. Although James Ingram was the keyboard player and participated in part of the background singing. He was a keyboard player with Ray Charles and blah, 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 and he came off the road. Now, I'm not saying he was on the road with Ray Charles at this time, but he came off the road performing in the South with someone, and he came back to the studio. Now, Leon wakes me up in the middle of the night, tell me to come over and said, look, James Ingram back in town. He said, I got a hook for the song called She's a Bad Mama Jamma. And Leon said, I don't know whether I change it from She's Bill, She's That to She's a Bad Mama Jamma. We all looking, and then Leon, so I used to tease Leon and call him, I wouldn't call him hard-headed. I would say you have a high impact resistant skull. So next time you see someone with a hard head, don't call them hard head. Just say you have a high impact resistant skull. So I diverse a little bit. So anyway, Leon thought about it, and he said, okay. He put She's a Bad Mama Jamma, called Carlton back to sing it, and he put it in what we call the them. That's where the song is ending. This is gonna get good. The song is ending, and he let Bunky Sheppard hear it, and he let the great Joe Isgro hear it, and Joe Isgro and Bunky Sheppard said, Leon, if you take She's a Bad Mama Jamma, not just put it in the vamp, but put it in the intro, in the front, in the beginning of the song, that the first thing people hear when it comes on the radio, it would be, she's a bad mama jamma, ooh, she's bad, just that. You know the story, right? And guess what? Leon did it. Back then, with the editing, I won't get all into that. So he listened to Joe Isgro, he listened to Bunky Sheppard, and I'm a country boy from Mississippi just saying, oh God, I'm in the middle of this. I cannot believe this. But he wanted my ear because he knew I was from the South. And he said, Larry, is this something that the Southern people will know? Because going to the South was the way to break a record. And I said, yeah. Anyway, put the song in, put She's a Bad Mama Jamma up front, released the song, and guess what? It skyrocketed. It was my first time being involved with a major hit. The record was nominated for a Grammy, and then I say Leon Haywood struck gold, because that was his first Grammy nomination. And it's my first time being involved, I can't take any credit, but being involved with a record that went to Grammy nomination. And I think that year, Lionel Richie, Diana Ross's Where Did the Rose Fall, where we had lost our beloved brother Marvin Gaye. So we lost to that, but the song, the lesson here, Leon was open-minded. He listened to constructive criticism, and he was willing to change in the middle of his project. And that's what this whole message is about. What I learned working with some of these greats is that you have to be open-minded. You have to be willing to take constructive criticism. And you want to be able to change when it's an appropriate time to change. Do not be high impact resistant skull in life. Be willing to bend. Don't be like the oak tree all the time. Sometimes the oak tree is very important. But sometimes you need to bend like the palm tree in the storms. Because when the palm tree is in a storm, it bends over. And sometimes the canopy can touch the ground. And when the storm passes and the sun rises in life, it'll pop right back up. And you know what? I'm in the kitchen right now, so I'm fixing myself some food. You know what? You guys have been quite nosy, but I'm going to share some. I'm in the kitchen, and I'm fixing myself. I like for lunch, I like a bowl of soup or something like that. I got to try to keep my girlish figure and all that old stuff, you know what I mean? But anyway, and if you keep that, if you wonder what I keep looking at, let me share. This is what I'm looking at from the kitchen. This is once again, the Pacific Ocean. And this is what I'm looking at from the kitchen. I love this. And you can see the houses and stuff below down there. And so this kind of keeps me going. And this is what the kitchen looks like a little bit. I'm not going to give you the full. And if you look up above me here, that is a see-through roof. Yeah, that is a sunroof that you can see through the top of this whole area up here. Yeah, see? But anyway, I wanted to share a little bit of what I have learned working with some of the most powerful people, some of the most knowledgeable people, being able to listen, being able to take constructive criticism, and being able to change. And that is one of the greatest lessons I've learned in this whole industry, because it goes on to all of your life. Whether you're starting a plumbing business, whether you're starting a janitorial business, whether you're coming up with a recipe just because it doesn't work right away, be willing to bend like the palm tree for change. Be willing to be open-minded. Take constructive criticism and be willing to change accordingly. Love you guys. Peace. You know my motto. Don't text while driving. Peace. I'm out of here.